Welcome everyone to the Hungry Bleak podcast. So, here's the thing. I have those 4 episodes up and I'm like, damn, I want to do something different. I want to make something just more fun, just more interactive. So I started thinking about all the conversations that I have with people, and bleak conversations, blurred conversations, just geek-centric stuff, and it's always so much fun. So I wanted to do that with this kind of new series of episodes, or just new trend of things that I want to try. Something different. It's 2020. Let's do something different. Why not? Hell, this is also the first episode that is going to be audio as well as visual. So here we go. So you'll be seeing hopefully some comic book tees, or possibly just a regular old shirt. Doesn't actually matter. I'll be honest with you. So for this episode, I want to bring on the incredible Joy Nickens, aka JOYNFINITY and beyond. Just a phenomenal gamer. I feel like every hour she's making a new announcement about something that she's doing, and I'm so excited. It's so cool to see. Fair warning, also, this is my cousin, but she's phenomenal. So I don't care. I'm unabashedly biased, and I don't give a goddamn. Oh, swear jars off the table. Between Twitch and her YouTube and sponsorships, she's doing so many things. It's great to think that the first time I met her was in New York. We went to Shanghai Mang and we had this table full of food eating, and then we just started talking all the time. It's great to see from that point to where she's going to now is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you, and remember this name because you are going to be hearing it so much more in the years to come. This is JOYNFINITY.
Wow.
I mean, like I said, I'm unabashedly biased, and I don't give a goddamn because everything you're doing is so awesome, so incredible. I'm so proud of you. Honestly, all the kudos to you for everything that you're doing. Seriously.
Hola, primo. Oh my gosh. Happy reflections. Just to hear all of that. I'm like, wow, I've been doing things.
You've been doing so much that that's when you know that you're doing a lot. When you do so much that you don't even realize you're doing it. And then when you hear everything, you're like, that's why I'm tired. That's why I
did that.
Yeah. So awesome. You're the first person I'm having on. This is great. This is cool.
Oh my God.
What are we talking about today?
Well, primo, we are talking about Spider-Man Miles Morales. Yes, biggity bam. Repping the best, I think, the best Spider-Man that we've had in my generation to represent what it feels like to be an Afro-Latinx person.
Mm-hmm.
We Afro-Latinx people. So, yes. And also, I would like to say, this is because of you. Like, all of this, I can't accept all this credit without the sensei, the comic guru, the master of all trades, Antonio Pomades up in this bitch. What do you mean? Like, I didn't know I had a whole legion of extraordinary familia to even look up to until, Carlo, which, we'll name eventually. And then you, so I'm just here trying to, I'm running to catch up to you, sir. So
I feel like I'm trying to catch up to you because of when I hear everything she's doing, I'm like, oh, she is killing it right now. She is crushing it. 2020 was not the best of years, but you crushed it. You absolutely crushed that year. You took all the lemons and said, look, we're going to have this huge, kiddie pool size margarita with all the lime and salt around it. We are doing this, and you totally did it, and that is so cool, so awesome.
But do you know how I did it?
Because you busted your ass and worked hard, and you have an incredible partner manager in King. That's how you did it. Y'all that power couple.
Big facts, yeah.
There's Barack and Michelle Then there's Joy Infinity and Ting. Like it's right, like you're just a notch below. You're just a notch below, but you're right on their heels.
But then I was never even about podcasting until who invited me into their domain. Not only that, but introduced a bitch to have a whole ass job at the place where I got to know about podcasting. And then, of course, 2020 furlough, big bam, had all this time. Oh, let me do. Who introduced me to the art of podcasting, bro?
Look,
literally
time, and everything just synced up to where it had to be, and that was it. That's it. I can't take credit for it. You can thank whatever deity you choose, fate, destiny, mana, whatever it is, but it's working out in everyone's favor.
Yes, sir.
To be where we've got to be at.
Oh yeah, just like Miles Morales, like literally.
Yes. Oh my God, this game. Okay, this is basically Miles Morales like saved 2020.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
Miles Morales saved 2020. Now, this is the sequel to Marvel's Spider-Man, which was Peter Parker, but we got introduced to Miles Morales during the game. So this isn't exactly like after the comics. Like this is a different universe, just like how there's the Ultimate Universe. There's been a different universe that Marvel has had. This is just a sequel to it. We weren't like, I didn't see the trailer for this until late. I want to say maybe like a couple weeks before the game even came out. I didn't even know the game was coming out yet. I thought they were still working on it. I didn't know.
Oh wow, yeah, no, this was PlayStation was very quick about. Look, you gonna get this Miles Morales in your face, okay?
For real.
Yeah, they did not care.
But it was like the first game was really great. I've played Spider-Man games and haven't been the biggest fan of them, just because the aerial combat usually throws me all the hell the way off. I usually hate aerial combat. I do. So there's a point in every Spider-Man game where I just stop playing and I end up trading it in. That's just, I'm unabashedly, I do this. But with the Marvel Spider-Man, it was so much better because it was easier, it was more fluent. You felt the web slinging, you felt it. And the story was really great and awesome. But you're introduced to Miles in that game, and you even see him getting bit by the spider.
Yes.
And that game is beautiful. It's great. It honestly is great. But then we get this sequel.
The sequel.
And I pre-ordered it.
Oh wow, okay. Go you.
I did. This is like the third game that I've pre-ordered in the last year or so, maybe. Just because I don't game as much. I just don't. So I pre-ordered it, came out, and I was like, okay, it started, and I had it to automatically download too. So it automatically downloaded, and I was at work. So I was like, all right, I'm going home, I'm gonna play this game for a bit, I'm gonna chill. Turn the game on, and I was just like, oh man. From his coat, to the Timbs, to him being on the subway, to the fresh cut. His cut was so, his barber is like a demigod. His barber is like just awesome. And I was like, okay, cool. Yes. I mean, yes.
Miles Morales. See?
Yes.
This game.
Did you pre-order it?
No, I walked up in GameStop and I was like, I want this for PS4.
Right.
And they were just like, okay. And I was shocked because, this came out alongside PlayStation 5's release. Or maybe not alongside it, but it came out right next to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was like, I ain't got time for that PS5 because I just, dropped guap on a whole gaming PC. So I was like, But I was like, oh, let me go to GameStop. I'm here. And they were like, oh, that'll be like 40. I think it was like 42, 47. It was less than $50. And I was like, oh, deals. Oh, snap. So this
for
is like,
real?
Yeah. Like if you buy it for PS4, it was like, and I'm a GameStop rewards member, blah, blah, blah. So I already had points off of it. but they were selling it for less than $50 in general. Yeah, I was shocked, and I was like, oh, okay, but everybody's hyped up for the PS5, so which looks gorgeous on PS5, and I didn't have a problem with it on my PS4. We'll go into like the schematics of the game later.
I was waiting for that because I want to hear that part of the game for you, but I know that's going to come later.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous though. Like regardless, PS4, PS5. I played it on my PS4, but I was playing it on my monitor through my PC on OBS. It's all of that jargon. But I had no problems with it overall. Like it was enjoyable to play, and like you said, I played Spider-Man I played Spider-Man and then played Miles Morales right after. So there wasn't a break in, but people played the original Spider-Man like 2018, 2019. They played it already.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But I played it for a hot second and then stopped playing it, got distracted with other games, and then when Miles Morales was coming, I was like, oh, let me jump back on. So it was worth it. It was well worth it.
Oh yeah. Because I pre-ordered it, it wasn't less than $50, but I also got the PlayStation 5 digital also.
Oh, okay.
So if I do get a PlayStation 5, for those who are listening to the podcast version of this, I just shrugged. Because I don't know when that's going to happen, what have you. But I was like, oh, all right. And when I did the digital download, I got the tracksuit.
Oh, the tracksuit.
Which we'll talk about the suits, because that's always one of the best parts about the game. Are the Spider-Man games are the suits. Spider-Man has had so many great suits. The suits in Marvel Spider-Man, the game before the first game, were great. I love. Oh my god, there was only one suit that they didn't have, but I'm hoping that that's going to be in another game, because it also means that there will be another character that I really want to see.
Yeah.
Venom.
Yeah, they played on that. I didn't understand it when I saw the credits. I was just like, okay, I see him. Spoiler alert. I saw Harry and I was like, okay, what he finna do though? And then people were like, Venom. And I'm like, Venom? Him? Really? Oh, ooh. Like I just didn't.
Yeah, if they can, because Harry will be the Green Goblin. But if they bring in Eddie Brock somehow and have that, it would just be so awesome. But we'll talk about the suits, because the suits are, like I said, always. Actually, Spider-Man has I think there's a new suit coming out for Parker now.
Really?
In the comics. Yeah, it's like white, blue, and I think like a kind of like a gold trim. It almost looks like the Iron Spider suit, but almost that. But Spider-Man's just known for his like suit. Like any comic book character, whenever they change their suits, it's always a big deal, and there's a reason for it. So it's part of the storyline, what have you. But yeah, Miles Morales' suits in this game are just awesome. From when you start with like I said, we will get into it. But the game this one. The first one had a great story. I mean, obviously it's Spider-Man, and the cutscenes. I think on YouTube, somebody actually put all the cutscenes together and made a movie.
Yeah, they're great.
The cutscenes are so cinematic. They're so great. They're awesome. Like especially the fight between spoiler alert, I guess again for the first game, the fight between him and the Sinister Six when he's beaten.
Oh my god! Oh, gee! I thought I was watching some Endgame shit. I was like, oh, yes. Woo!
It was that Endgame quality. It really was. I was like, and it was so. And I want to play, but I want to watch this. I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. Are you serious? And it was just so great. And they did the same with this game, but just up to the level, because the feeling in this game was heart and familia. This game was us. This game was Afro-Latinx. This game was for Joy. This game was for Antonio. This game was for Carlo. This game was for all of us.
It was.
And it represented so hard for us.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh my
it felt
God.
warm.
Oh my God. Yes.
It felt warm. It felt familiar. Like, oh, Mom. Like in a way,
There was so much from the Spanglish to the American Sign Language. I don't know sign language, but just seeing it in the game and then people saying this is authentic, it's real. These are actual. I was like, oh my God.
The representation. Oh my God.
Yes. From seeing, because you got all the different shades of color of skin.
Mm-hmm.
You had the representation of the LGBTQ plus
Yes,
in there as
especially at
well.
Feast. Oh my God, there's so many gay
Yes.
people at Feast. I was like, you better come through.
Oh my God, I loved it.
It was
It
lit.
felt like this haven for people, like this sanctuary. And I loved how there was that inclusion of it. Even like when the game opens up and he's walking down the street and he's talking to everybody in the hood, in the
Mm-hmm.
body in Harlem, and he's talking to everybody because he and his mother had just moved there after, again, spoiler, the first game, Miles's father dies.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
And yeah, it just felt it just felt so right. It felt, even the cutscene just felt so fluent. It felt right.
Yeah.
Like there was, I just, yeah, it definitely did feel warm. It felt familiar. It felt like home. It felt like coming home.
It did, especially when they were like, "Oh, there's still stuff of abuelas here in the house." I'm like, "Abuela
Yes,
got a big
yeah.
ass house, like she
She did, right.
had a big old house." I was like, "Where in Harlem is that? I'd like to go there, please."
That's that rent control right there. That's what that is. That's that rent control.
Yo, big facts. I was like, "Can I
That's
move
that.
already?"
I don't know if that's still a thing in New York, but that's that rent control for real.
It was because I felt that with I know I had a grandmother, may she rest in peace as well. She definitely had a rent control place up in Bronx. I was like, we would always go
Hmm.
there for
Hmm.
holidays and stuff, and she had a really
Yep.
nice apartment. I wish I knew what happened to that place, but anyway,
Well, you know what? Kind of think of it. I'm From what I can remember. Unfortunately, my memory's a little foggy. Um, I think that Abuelita, she had a big, matter of fact, yeah, she had a big ass apartment
right?
in
Where
Brooklyn. Now I'm thinking about, she had a big ass apartment. She had a huge living room. She had like, I think there was like three, maybe four bedrooms.
where
Yeah,
they at
yeah,
though?
for real. Like, and I'm damn, yeah. Abuelita had that place though. Where, oh my god, for real, yeah. So yeah, so you know what? Even that, because we're both having that same experience, that has to be something that was in the writer's room, in that room, knowing culture, knowing what's going on in our neighborhoods, in our hoods, in our lives, was definitely it. This game was like a love letter to us,
Yeah, yeah, I definitely
you
felt that
know?
way.
Yeah. And then we go right into it with, because at the end of Marvel Spider-Man, we get Miles is trying to get Peter to teach him stuff. He's calling him like every 5 minutes over. He's like, "Hey, I just wonder if you could teach me how to web sling, and when are we gonna get some of this, this stuff done?" And he's trying to teach him, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, what have you. In this game, we go right into the action with Miles. He's been partnering with Parker, and
Mhm.
that opening scene and the cut scene along with the fight with Rhino.
Ooh, yeah, that was good. It was so good. It was
It's
just
you're
him
going,
running around, rampaging
yeah.
shit. Like,
You're going through, but you know what? No, but before they even, let me give props. And before that even, um, that first swing when you're Miles, I yelled out "woohoo!" I didn't care if somebody called the cops. I didn't give a damn. I yelled out
woo!
"woohoo!" because and when he swings and he lets go, I was like, I immediately heard "What's Up, Danger" from Into
Spider
Spider
Verse.
Verse.
Oh,
Immediately,
oh my god.
immediately. It's
Yeah.
so, I wish they'd been able to put it in the game. I'm sure, licensing and such like that, along with Nikes, which I understand, again, licensing, a lot of
Mm.
money. They could have just went with some Chucks.
I
Just
know.
saying,
I
just
know.
saying. But I'm not mad at Adidas either. You know what? Get that coin, Adidas. I'm not mad at you. My God, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it was different because being being Peter Parker, I realized I fumbled a lot in terms of swinging. I don't
Ooh.
feel like I know it was weird because I eventually, of course, I beat it, but I realized that when I was playing as Peter Parker, it was kind of like, and I mean, I was deep into playing Peter Parker. It wasn't like, oh, 5 seconds into playing. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I still, even at the last few minutes of the game, I wasn't really in control of my swing as much. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't as free to like flip and do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as that first swing as Miles Morales, I felt like I'm stepping into it. And of course, I had the Start a Riot song in my head, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is natural. Like, I got this.
Ooh. Another one from that album is, it's still on my iPod. It is. The minute I walked out of the theater and I got home so I could use my Wi-Fi from my iPod,
yeah,
I bought that album.
Oh yeah, that was
minute.
Start a Riot was the song I would always play when I got off the train to walk into work.
Oh.
So as soon as it was like ding dong, go in here, try to start it, and then I would just go straight up the stairs and just like power walk my ass off until I reached the building, the work building.
Oh yeah, that's man.
So yeah, it had me like dominating in the streets. Like, no one's gonna stop me. I'm gonna get there in 10 seconds flat. Like, I had that motivation song.
But you're absolutely right about that web slinging thing. It feels so fluent. Now, I could be funny and say that it's because Miles has rhythm. I could be funny and say that. I'm not going to. I'm not going to say that. But I did say it already, so whatever. But yeah, but even the soundtrack to the game sounds. It still isn't the Into the Spider, but it feels right, which actually adds into one of the suits that you end up getting. Which I'm not a huge fan of the suit, but I like the suit because of that one feature. But again, we'll talk about it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Just suits are just so damn cool. My God. But yeah, it does, and the combat felt more fluent. And again, I don't know if it was because of the other game, and they had found a more fluent way, because he obviously he's going to move differently. He's younger. He's actually a little bit stronger than Parker too, which I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Because Parker even says that, but he also has two other abilities that Parker doesn't have. He has the proportionate spider strength. He has the spider sense. He has the wall crawling, and he has that spider instinct where he'll look for like dark corners, and his equilibrium, which has always been a cool thing, I think, about the equilibrium, how he doesn't get nauseous and such from all the flips and all like those movements, such like that. I've always found that particular part of the spider powers to be interesting.
Yeah.
The ear fluid and everything like that. There's no nausea there. It's instinctual, which is so cool that a spider would pass that on. But he has two other powers that debut in the game, and the way they debut them is awesome. I absolutely loved it because it felt, you get
right.
Yeah, it did. And the way they did, I'm not as steeped into the lore of Miles, but I know his lore. And I'm reading the new series, which is awesome. Love it. I actually want to go back and read the old stuff, the older Ultimate Spider-Man comics. But he has two powers, which are his Venom Blast, which is this electrical charge, and he has the camouflage. Because every spider that was genetically modified has their own powers. Well, not their own powers, but their own. Because every species of spider has a different natural ability. Let's say, whether it's camouflage, whether their venom is a little bit stronger, whether their spider webs are stronger, what have you, whatever. So he gets these two, and the way they debut them, the one they do Venom when he's fighting Rhino.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was actually the power that you saw in trailer, because the trailer was ridiculous also.
Yeah, the trailer had me floored. I was like, oh, we're going to get this game. I don't care how, when, I'm waiting for it.
Because the first thing you see is his face. And like you start seeing like his skin, and he's in the fight, and you hear the voiceover, and you're like, man, I didn't know I was going to be going through this today.
Is this truly going to be Miles, or are you playing?
Exactly.
Is it him, or is it not? Like, it definitely had me like, like at the end.
And then seeing like the Venom Blast like sparks during the trailer, and then when he's in the fight with Parker, I should say teaming with Parker. I shouldn't say in the fight with Parker, teaming with Parker against Rhino, and he does that first Venom Blast. I had to pause the game and sit back. I was like, oh,
this is lit. Like, this is wow. It's a shame because I barely used it in my time of playing.
really?
Like I know it's so crazy. I only really because I'm simple. I only played it when I had to, like when I really had to, which was like, you know, all things removed. I'm trying to think of the phrase for this, but just like no more chances, no more lifelines. I was like, oh yeah, I have Venom Blast. Boom. But other than that,
Yeah.
I was really heavily reliant on me healing because I always never defend myself. I always get slapped up in the face all the time. And the
Oh,
camouflage.
I was the opposite. I used the camouflage during like when you had to take something when you had like to take one of the bases down.
Mm-hmm.
And when it would say you have to do these qualifying things in order to get these points. So I was like, all right. So if it was stealth, I used my camouflage, got them. I loved sticking people to walls, hanging them up
Ooh.
on shit. I loved and then just running off. I love doing that shit. I loved it. But I used the Venom Blast more because there's an achievement that you get when you use the Venom Blast along with the Venom jump and the Venom dash. If you use them together, there's an achievement that you get, which I didn't know about until I was just looking through my achievements the other day when I finished the scavenger hunt at the end. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was, yeah, I don't think it's during a fight. I think it's because because it actually makes you move faster when you swing. So if you're swinging and you do the Venom dash, it's good. Or if you do like the point to point jumps and you do the Venom jump, like you actually jump higher. Like I didn't do all that. Like I did it during a fight because I loved when you have like one of the big new form guys with the shield and the hammer.
Hated those.
They
Hate
were
them.
they were so hard. I was like, and they blocked everything. That big ass shield and big ass hammer. There was no need. That was disrespectful. There was no need to have all that. And then you have all the teenagers around him with like the little guns, everything. I'm like, yeah, you real disrespectful to these kids.
That's
These
what I'm
kids
like right
about
at
to get
the end.
beat up. Mm-hmm.
That sounds like right at the end when it was new form against underground and all these motherfuckers are just
Yeah.
like there. I'm like, oh, I gotta Venom Blast these bitches. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, other than that, I was trying to at least get rid of one first and then the other.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was just a lot of sometimes every once in a while it was a lot at once for me, but for the most part, I really enjoyed having all of this to do in the game. It didn't feel like it didn't feel short to me and it didn't feel too long.
Yeah, it felt like just the right amount of time. I'm hoping there will be DLC. They got to make DLC for this game. They have to.
Yeah, they should.
Because the first game had 3 episodes of DLC.
Oh.
But they were all linked to one like storyline. So when you did one, because they actually called them episodes, I think. So there was like one, then it would link up to the next one, then link up to the next. So it was like another storyline to it, which was great. I hope they do that with this game. Because that was really fun because you got introduced to other characters like Catwoman, Silver Sable, Hammerhead, somebody else that you were introduced to more heavily in those episodes. But I hope they really do some DLC because it was so much fun. This game is so much, and it felt right. This is the most fun Spider-Man game I've ever played, and I've played a lot. I played like them on Nintendo when you had cheat codes, you could get all the suits all together, what have you.
Okay.
From the powers, and then going around the city and seeing everything, and seeing how the city's changed.
This is my I'll say my 4th Spider-Man game ever playing in life, because I've played, I think it was Spider-Man versus X-Men or Spider-Man and X-Men on the Sega Genesis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's bring that shit back because you can play Spider-Man there. And then there was I'm sorry, maybe my 5th one, because then there was a Spider-Man game for Sega Genesis.
I think there was Maximum Carnage, maybe?
There was a couple Spider-Man games for Sega that I remember having, Spider-Man and X-Men, and then I think it was the actual Spider-Man game. But then there was, I only had a demo of a Spider-Man game on PlayStation, which I never really got to play the whole thing because it was a demo. And then enter, Marvel Spider-Man and then Miles Morales. So it's just kind of like, gaming has come a long way.
Yes.
from what Spider-Man was or people could conceive it could be, and now being in 2020, it's like, holy shit, like this is, you are him, you are flying in the air in New York. Like you said, New York looks exactly like New York. Like, it is insane. Yes. It's mind-blowing the amount of places you can go. Just, I mean, they kind of confine you obviously to like Manhattan, but it's kind of like, whoa. I mean, they got the Avengers building, they have all these places you would never, obviously you're never gonna like climb up the walls and see them and swing and jump and leap like your Assassin's Creed, like your Ezio or Altair, but just like leaping off of buildings and shit, and just like, wow, like it's amazing what they've done.
It is so cool. I saw it on, I don't know how I even found it on YouTube. I think I was just looking. I think I just wanted to hear "What's Up, Danger," and I typed in Miles Morales, and somebody recreated the leap of faith from Into the Universe. Somebody recreated it on YouTube. Yes, look it up. It's, oh my
god.
Like, even the running, like the web and then running. And when they did it, because that part, like, even now I'm still getting like goosebumps and chills, like the hair on the back of my neck is standing up, because that scene, I've watched the scene 1,000 times, and it always gets me a little misty eyed, because when they're going, all it takes is a leap of faith, Miles, and Miles is like, he's on the edge of the like the window, and he's like looking down, and he's like, and he has the new suit that he just made, and he finally feels like he's at that point where he wants to take the leap of faith. If you're actually at the point where you're taking a leap of faith, you've already taken the leap of faith. You're already in mid leap. You just have to land. You just have to stick it. That's it. And when he jumps off and it says, "What's up, danger?" That's why I love that song to begin with. Not only does it what is it? Slaps, right? Yeah.
It slaps. It's a bop.
Yeah, it's a bop, slap, and it's all that shit. Not only is it all that, but it's that moment where in the movie when Miles is swinging and he swings up, and the Spider-Man theme from that movie plays along with "What's Up, Danger," and they blend together, and that's the moment when he becomes Spider-Man. That's the moment when he really feels it.
Oh, the goosebumps.
That moment, because that, and when I hear the song on my iPod, I know what part of the song that is. I know what part, and I see the scene every time I hear that part. It's so great. It's like, what? And it's just like, because it's that part where it says, "You can't stop me now," and then you feel the two themes roll together, and I was like, oh my god. But yes, somebody recreated it in the game, and it's beautiful. It's, you see him like falling, everything, even the angles that he uses. I don't know how he did. He must have been using photo and like recorded it and stuff like that. Even like the shot where it's like multiple, he did it so well. I don't know how long it took him to do it, and I think there were a few people that worked along with him with it. It's awesome, so good. It's so good. Yeah, look it up on YouTube. It's so, I watched it and I was like, oh shit, are you? And I was sitting there like, and I can barely share my shit on Twitch or YouTube when I use it, or I can't get a video right. And I was like, this is awesome.
Look, shout out to, I mean, a huge love letter to Into the Spider-Verse, because can you imagine if that movie flopped? Could you imagine the amount?
I would not have this t-shirt. I wouldn't have.
I feel bad for not wearing my t-shirt now, because I definitely have a Miles Morales t-shirt, but like, I didn't wear it today, but I will wear it today later. Because I can always recall just sitting in the movie, obviously with Bibi, just the amount of emotions that literally washed over me, and especially during that scene, and then at the end, I hadn't felt that I wanted to just get up and just shout, like, just like, yeah, like this. It was so much overwhelming. I didn't even know that I had inside of me to express Miles Morales just being who he was, and his family, and just going through all of that, and just being yourself. And it's just like, why don't we make more of this? Like, why don't we have, I know why, but we need more of this. So
that's that feeling, like when you don't get representation of you, and then you get it, like you don't know how to act. Like you're like, wait, what? And it's again, apparently my word for today is cathartic, because you just let it out and you just go, you finally exhale and you want to cheer. You want to cheer him on because that's you up there. That's you being represented, from his awkwardness to the Spanglish to his kinky hair to him like uh getting these powers, not just being a teenage boy and going through regular puberty that people have to go through, but then having these powers and trying to figure out, he's walking on the walls and he's like everything's sticking to his hand, and he has like the pigeons are sticking to his hand. He's trying to like shake the pigeons off, and like there's so much going on in there. Yeah, that movie, I ended up buying the movie because I know it's going to be taken off of Netflix soon.
Yes, me too.
I ended up buying the movie from Best Buy on Black Friday. I think it was like $4.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah,
That was ooh.
and
I bought
and,
it. Yeah, same
yeah,
thing. Best Buy.
yeah. I bought that, and I bought Deathstroke too
Oh,
because I'm a
okay.
Deathstroke fan, which is actually good. But it's on HBO Max because HBO Max just uploaded a bunch of their DC stuff.
Ooh,
So all the
okay.
new movies are on there. The new Wonder Woman movie is on there. The animated one, Bloodlines,
Okay.
is on there. Yeah, they basically took all their stuff and just put it in there. I was watching actually. I'm gonna watch Wonder Woman Bloodlines later because I didn't get a chance to watch. I watched a whole bunch of shit on there,
Yeah.
but that was actually kind of good. He's just one of my favorite characters. I love how a horrible a person he is, but he's trying to be a better person, but it's just not working out for him. It's it's just really cool. But yeah, shout out to this movie because it really and effort to win Oscars.
Yes.
Like best animated movie, and I think it won something else too, or it was nominated for something else. But that's who saw that coming? Who?
I mean, that's how you can tell the amount of love and like real effort. I mean, shout out to Sony Pictures and everybody and Marvel and
Yes.
everybody that went, because they could have treated it like, oh, well, obviously he's a side character. No one could ever replace Peter Parker. Like, that's what I thought they were going to do. Because they're like, well, obviously we don't like when you're uprooting a character that people have loved for generations with this random black kid for some reason. But they didn't. They gave him his own, just like the game, which I'm very proud of. They didn't just say, okay, Peter's not here, so you're just gonna have to deal with Miles. It was more like Peter's going away because of blah blah blah. Who gives a shit? He's obvious, because I say that because of Mary Jane. Fucking Mary Jane's nosy ass, always be in people's business and shit because she's a journalist.
Her in the game. Oh my god. Oh, I
So
hated her.
fucking nosy ass bitch. That's what I kept saying in my streams.
Oh,
Nosy ass ginger-headed bitch.
sneaking around in corners. I'm like, oh, I didn't get this game for this.
I had more time with Mary Jane that I actually needed. I was like, why am I being this bitch right now? Like, can I not? Like, shout out to Mary Jane, I guess. But for them to be like, okay, Peter, you're going on vacation. Miles, you're gonna have to be the Spider-Man of the city while I'm gone, and not just just you can temporarily handle this because when your big bro comes back, it's more like, no, bro, you are the Spider-Man.
Thank you. Yes.
Deal with that shit. Like you got this. And it was like, okay. And then you get to really feel as a 17-year-old young man how it is to have to balance everything and not have to worry about a committed or maybe not committed relationship with a woman. Because Peter was constantly, of course, obviously, we already had this strain of Peter just gonna be fucking up. Like he can't ever be there for any woman because he's always gonna have the obligations for Spider-Man. Me being Miles Morales, I had no bitches to really worry about. I was just like, I mean, spoiler alert, eventually some bitch is gonna pop up, but it's just kind of like I didn't have to deal with letting a girlfriend down because I was Spider-Man. It was more like, who knows? And who is Miles Morales, like, not whispering his secret identity too loud enough for people to hear? Because he was like, Miles, like Spider-Man. Oh, I gotta be Spider-Man. Hold on, I gotta call you back, Genki. Bitch, you can't just be saying you Spider-Man in the public. Anyway.
Well, no, but it like his life is still complicated because he's this young man, um, running around saving things, and he doesn't feel like he's up to par. But you made a great point that yeah, it isn't just like okay, well, Peter was kidnapped or taken to another, like some type of. It was Peter saying, "I trust you with this. I trust you with the city." You know what I mean? So that's like a ringing endorsement
Yeah.
for him, even though it shouldn't be.
No,
You
you
know what I
shouldn't
mean?
have to have the white man's approval, but
Right, but to have Spider-Man, who is, let's be honest, the number one Marvel character there is. I mean, yeah,
mm,
there are plenty of Marvel characters out there, but he's that character that is was. I think he's had the most movies out of any Marvel character too. I want to say.
oh, for sure. If we have to see Uncle Ben die
Facts.
another goddamn decade, like I get
Yep.
it, he is dead. He is dead, dead. But then they fucked me up when they had Aunt May. Spoiler alert, Aunt May fucking died, and I was
Yeah.
crying. Oh, what did that old lady do to you? Like, oh, had me upset, had me in my feelings. But if I gotta see this, but at least with that game, she wasn't like a MILF where she was like 45 years old or 40 years old. And I'm like,
Yeah.
can I bang Aunt May at some point? No. In the
Mm.
game, she was older. She was
Yeah.
clearly, which I kept in my whole life. I didn't realize this. I saw Aunt May as Peter's grandmother.
Yeah. It's because she's so. Because when she's depicted as being like 175.
Yeah. So I
Like
kept
she's
saying,
mad
oh,
decrepit. Like she's old, decrepit, broken, but she's still out here doing stuff, but she's decrepit. Like
but
they
like
always do.
she's Aunt May, not
Hmm.
Grandma May.
She
So
should be great Aunt May.
she should be grand Aunt May, great Aunt May. But I
Hmm.
was like, that's his aunt and his
Hmm.
uncle, but they're old. So I kept thinking they were his grandparents. I don't know why this entire decade or 2 decades I just assumed this,
Because that's
but
what she looks like. That's not
basic.
your fault. That's how they drew her. That's how they depicted her. So it always made me wonder how old were Parker's parents like
Yeah.
compared to them because that's supposed to be his sister. Like I don't know if it was his father or his mother's sister. Like I don't know who like how it worked out, like whose siblings they were, but how much older are you? Like
But then
was it the
again,
first marriage or a second marriage? Like did it take time in between one child and then oops, one slip past the goalie and then they like I don't know how that happened.
the genetics of white people, they tend to age faster when they hit their 20s. So it's kind of like,
But
do we really know?
that's some aging for your ass though.
Yeah.
That's some like, hey, I might need to get this Metamucil next week aging. Like they were old as shit. Yeah, that always bothered me. Like that's why when they started making when it was because who was it? It was Marissa Tomei, but then before her it was somebody else who was it was oh my god. Um
Because whatever it was, I didn't see the movie. Because I didn't see any of the movies with Andrew Garfield in them.
yeah, those. It was oh my god. Sally Field.
Okay, Sally Field.
It
Okay.
was her. Those two made more sense. Aunt May, like that makes more sense as far as like being an aunt because the other woman, and this is no shade to the actresses who played Aunt May before, but they were more grandmother. It didn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me. So Marissa Tomei didn't bother me because sometimes the auntie be hot. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Auntie's be hot. Auntie's be
Sometimes
hot.
sometimes the aunties be hot. I'm saying. So it did. So that made more sense to me. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But when they had these older ones, I was like, why is she so oh, and she would sound so broken. She'd be like, well, Peter, you are, and she's like real, like, oh, can you get me the hot water bottle, Peter? I'll just like for my back. Like she's real,
Yes.
like I'm not trying to throw shade at Aunt May. Like I don't want this to sound like that. But it did like that always bugged me. I'm like, why is she so old?
She seemed like a granny more than an aunt.
Yeah, so but that makes sense. Like when you like, that's not your fault for thinking that that was his grandmother all this time because she like, and she sounded like it, she acted like it, everything, and he treated her
A
like not
grandma.
just his mother, but a grandmother. Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did. Um, but then we so yeah, that didn't bother me, like age wise. But then you see uh like Miles's home life and him having to take care of everything. He felt like he balanced it better to me.
Yeah, because when he revealed himself, I mean, it was literally like, what else was he going to do? I mean, Genki
Mhm.
could have at least dragged his ass in the bedroom. He just left him there in the front
Yo, for
hallway,
real.
like his mama wasn't home already.
Yeah,
Miles, is
I'm
that
saying.
you?
True. It's true.
It was kind of like, I'm already like my like feet from death. Let me just tell you, I'm Spider-Man. Versus like,
Mhm.
oh no, mom, you can't see, because even when she was like, what are you wearing, bitch? If you don't
Mhm.
know your son is fucking Spider-Man by now, he's not working part-time at
For
Times
sure.
Square. this
Mhm.
is this is the Spider-Man, like, so it was an interesting reveal.
Yeah. It felt like he balanced everything out better, especially when because in the first game when you're doing like the random missions and like there's the crimes are all over, they just happen to come up, so you have to swing through each part of the city
Hmm.
in order to go, all right, cool, so there's 5 crimes you have to do in this area, what have you. When they had that app,
I love the app.
the app was so much easier, so
Mm,
much better, so much focus, and I felt that was a great way to kind of to show social media,
yeah.
to bring in technology, to streamline, because this is a different Spider-Man. He's going to want to do this a little more. He doesn't have all that time because he has to go to school. He has a lot of homework. He's in all these gifted classes. He needs that time. And the fact that he had to, hey, can you get me chicken from the store? Yeah, okay, cool. You're swimming through the city, then you got to stop a crime, but you still got to get that chicken. You better bring that chicken home. You better bring
Yes.
your ass home with that chicken.
Yeah, she was very clear about that.
Yeah. So that app was just so cool to me. And it made it easier because you didn't have to, like, you could do all of them, which I did because I liked the app was so cool. I just kept going through all the crimes and missions. I thought that was like the side mission. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Um and each area has their thing. Oh, you have to, can you help me here, can you help me here, help me here. I thought it was a great way to do it, bring it in there. But then and Shanae got me on this, so I really had to shout out to Shanae Williams, who is one of
Hey,
our friends as well. Shout out to this incredible artist.
love
When
her.
she got love from the neighborhood and they gave her that suit,
Oh yeah.
I said, okay, bet. I need to get I need to get every suit. So I worked my ass off to get that suit. I mean, I did the same shit she did, but I'm just saying.
The black and gold.
Yeah, the black and gold.
Oh,
And then
beautiful.
and that was like, yeah, that suit was so awesome. Like the gold, and it's modeled after the classic Miles Morales red and black suit, but the gold is where the red is, which is awesome. And I think when you're in front of that mural that says Black Lives Matter, I want to say
Yeah.
when they finally show, because I was looking at it, I was like, damn, that's dope as hell. Um, but let's talk about the suits.
Yes. Yes. I don't think I got as much time to unlock everything, but I can
Mhm.
always go back in there and unlock some shit. But I enjoyed the I know there was like a commie ranger looking suit. It was like this, someone compared it to a
Yes, yes, yes,
Evangelion suit. Like I really liked that one.
yeah.
The black and gold I liked. I have to go back and get the cat in the bag suit, the bodega cat
Oh yes,
one.
yes, Bodega Cat. Yes,
I didn't
yes.
get that one yet, but I definitely gotta go get that one.
I just got that one the other day, and I did like I was like stopping crying with it, and I was like, yeah. No, I was wearing it when I was doing the scavenger hunt, and it's
Okay.
just so funny to just be standing there and the cat just peeking out. Just
Because you said, and Bibby reminded me of this, you said that you had a favorite suit and that I would
Mhm.
recognize what suit it was.
Yeah,
And that has racked my brain because
really.
there's at least 3 of them that I was like, is this him? Is this him? Does he like this one? Which one is your suit that you like the most?
It was the end suit.
The end. Wait,
Yeah.
is it the 2099 one?
No, 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 not that. No, but that one was. Oh, that one was fire too.
Yeah.
Oh my, pretty much the suits with a hood. I was down with pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
the end is when I think actually Damian Scott designed it because he did the art for the end. Miles Morales, the end. It was a series that they did for Marvel this past year or last couple years, where it showed like it would showcase a character. Like they had one for I think Wolverine and stuff like that. They showed them in their last um in that I guess continuity in their last moments, like before they died.
Oh my.
So that's
Let
why
me
it was called the end.
let me
And it
Google it.
was Yeah, so it was him with the jacket. He had camo pants on. He had boots.
Oh,
That
oh,
was my favorite. Yeah,
oh. Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
I,
on.
abs-
Oh,
I
I
absolutely
think I've
love that.
seen this a bunch of times, and I was like, oh, this one's cool. It reminds me of something. Oh, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. The end. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, that was my favorite one. That one was just too
Oh,
awesome to me. It was just too awesome. I absolutely loved it.
okay. Yeah, I do. I feel like I don't know if I have this one or I saw this one in the inventory.
I don't remember
Okay.
how you uncover it. Yes. Yeah. I don't remember how you uncover it because I know each one has like, you do different things to uncover. There's only one
Mm.
suit that I haven't uncovered, and it's because I haven't started a new game plus yet. But it'll
Oh, okay.
be the school. Yeah, I had because the suits are always a big thing to me. But that 2099 was that
Yeah.
it was fire. Yes. The other one I dug is the 2020 suit, which and this
Okay.
is what I'm talking about, where he has the jacket, but he has headphones on as well.
Yeah, see, I would dig that too.
That one because I think being I always am I listening to music. I either have my earbuds in, my wireless earbuds, my Skull Candy earbuds, like wireless, or my headphones. I always have something, especially when you're in the city. If I didn't have my
Mhm.
iPod and I was walking around the city, I would go mad just listening to the city. I mean, not that the city doesn't have beautiful sound stuff like that, but hearing just the city and the cars and the honking and whatever, it's cool. So that one always made sense. If I was a vigilante and I'm waiting for crime and I'm sitting up on a building, what have you, I'm looking down, I would have music playing in there.
Oh yeah. Music makes and that was one of the things that I loved too because in the original Spider-Man when you go to swing, it always starts off with the same like it's the same it's
Oh,
anytime
yeah.
anywhere you have that same song, but when you were Miles Morales the song was more captivating for me to go like I'm gonna
Mhm.
swing, and it didn't
Yeah.
sound over like killed over and over again because
Mhm.
it would be like Peter Parker was sitting and it was quiet, there wasn't any song, and then as soon as you like you and then it would be like
Yeah.
the it's opening up, but as Miles Morales, it was more like doom, 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 like it was more,
Mhm.
better for me to be like, okay, I'm going to swing, and we're going to do this. So I really enjoyed that too.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder because I know it's supposed to feel more like the environment that you're in, and obviously the skin you're in.
Mm,
I wonder if in different parts of the city when you're Miles, if you swing, if there's different music. I had like because I know I heard like I think maybe two or three different songs when you would actually swing,
mm-hmm.
or the songs in a different place. I'm not sure, but I kind of because I actually do want to go back and play through with the different suits and get these other power because there's three perks that you can't get until you do a new game plus.
Okay.
So there's three perks and one suit that you don't get until you. So I actually want to do another one and play through, maybe on like a harder difficulty too, just to see, what
Yeah.
more I can do. Um, what was your favorite suit?
I feel like my favorite suit is going to be this Into the Spider-Verse
Oh yeah. Oh
one.
yes, yes.
Um, and I did like, but I had to split it up with how I liked it. So I liked the suit by itself, and I liked the sound effect. No, like the thing it came with. I
Yes.
didn't. I didn't like the alternate reality like glitch effect that you could turn on with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that off, but just being him in the Spider-Verse suit and having every time he would hit somebody, bing, blam, boom, boom, like I loved that.
Yes, yes.
So I just took that alternate reality Spider-Verse effect off the suit because I didn't like that where how it was looking on screen.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
seemed weird to me.
it didn't like it was yeah, because at first like I didn't realize what it was, but
Hmm.
I turned it on because I wanted to wear that suit just because it's a cool suit.
Yeah.
And I was walking, and like the way he was walking, I was like, wait, the walk is different. I was like, this really, and I was like, oh, this is, and then I thought that when they said glitching, I thought that you would see like how like the how the universes were merging, and there was that glitch I thought that's what was going to happen when he
Mm-hmm.
put it. I didn't know that it was going to be his movements, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and it didn't fit with the game the way everything else was moving. It didn't. It felt like there was like a disconnect. It felt like
Mm-hmm.
he was just thrown into the game, and everything else was going on. They added him like just before before they like released the game. They was like, oh shit, we forgot Miles. Oh,
Yeah. It felt like that.
draw him in real quick. Draw him in real quick. Like it felt like that.
Like he was placed on top of the background and not really so much
Yes.
in it.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
I didn't like that effect on it. I'm glad that they had it as an option, but I didn't want it.
Yeah. Because I think that's how the guy actually was able to mimic the fall and everything when he did that video, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I forgot the Big Bang Pow Poo thing. Yeah, was actually pretty cool. So I would put that on sometime just to be, just if it feels like I was like taking down like just random like burglars, stuff like that. Like I would do that because it was kind of funny to me. It was. But yeah, that classic suit is actually, well, I don't know, well, not classic, but Into Spider-Verse suit was really cool just because it felt like that's where it all started. Like that's where it started for this, because I mean the comic was big, but that movie, like you were saying, really did make it, and it showed them, look, this is what you can do. I would love to see another game. I definitely want to. I think the next movie is going to focus more on Gwen's universe with Miles in it.
Okay.
I actually want them to do Silk. I'm not as familiar with Silk,
Oh, me
but I want them to do
too.
Silk
Me
because
too.
Silk just seems so cool. But I mean, if we do get another game and say it is Gwen, and we get Gwen Spider or Gwen or Ghost Spider, I think she's calling herself now. I'm not sure, because she does have a cool suit. Her suit is fire. Her suit is like with the white and the purple. No, white, pink, and black. Like her suit is actually really cool.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Silk. Silk is, I don't know a lot about. Matter of fact, you know what? I should buy some Silk comics because I read a couple of issues and it was just cool. And I love her suit, how she has like kind of like the face mask up, but her hair is still out and everything. But she has like, I would love that. But I don't know when the next movie is going to be out. Probably maybe another year or two, such what have. I don't know how much COVID and such is like detrimental to that. I don't know.
At this point, I'm like, see you in 2023, bro. Like,
Yeah, I mean, for real.
who knows?
I'll Zoom you. I mean, that's the best that I can do right now. You know what I mean?
Basically.
Yeah, but that would be awesome to see that again. Or if they did something on, say, like Disney Plus. I don't know how that would work though, because of the deal with Sony. So I don't know how they would, you know what I mean? Because it's still Sony property. I don't know how.
Maybe COVID could change their minds. Who knows?
Look, I mean, they've got so much stuff, and I think they're developing. I think that the next Spider-Man movie is in the works. I think they may have extended the deal as far as movies, but I don't know how it works with animation.
It is different. It is different.
Yeah, so I don't know what if there's a deal with that. I don't know if there's a deal even with the games, because it says Marvel's Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, but it's Sony.
Well, the thing that had me kind of like, oh, okay, was like, I feel like PlayStation because PlayStation had Sony Interactive Studios or Interactive Entertainment or whatever, but then they changed their name to PlayStation Studios. I
Oh,
think,
did they?
yeah. I don't know if it's still the same, because it's so weird, because I feel like I was following them on Instagram as PlayStation Studios, and then something happened where it's not them anymore. So I really want to look deep into PlayStation Studios, because I swear they had a whole account, because I was tagging them and stuff. And then when I went and recently tagged them for the Miles Morales thing I posted on Instagram, it's some person that's like PlayStation Studios, but it's like UK, like from the United Kingdom. And I was like, that's not the same. The verification check is gone. Like, it's a whole different thing now. So I don't know what PlayStation's doing. I feel like they've moved on, or they're gonna maybe have a new name or something. But yeah, they're doing some changes where they were having their own studio, because I was tagging PlayStation Studios and Insomniac Studios too. So we'll see. I don't know what they're doing.
That's interesting. Yeah, because that could be like another division, so they can find You know what I mean? Like, on the company, on the companies be doing stuff.
They do. They be doing
Um,
some stuff.
they do, but I mean, yeah, there was just. So I'm excited for it. Also, I have to finish Marvel's Avengers because Spider-Man is in that. In the
Oh,
Sony, Spider-Man is a Sony exclusive, so you don't get Spider-Man in the X-Men. Excuse me, in the Xbox version. I have to finish that, but that again, um, have you played that?
no, I know. I feel like Square
Yes.
Enix,
Yep.
published that, or they do. I want to check it out, but I also wasn't trying to like pay for it immediately. Like
I
if it goes
understand.
on,
I
yeah.
totally
Like
understand.
I mean, I was excited when you were playing it and when other people were playing it, but I wasn't really like, oh, I can't wait to buy that. I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
why do they not look like how I've known them for the past 10 years? And I don't really
Yeah.
know. And then the whole DLC thing and the exclusive blah 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 and the unlocking of the characters. I was like, I don't know.
Well, I because I know that they updated continuously because I think that
Mm-hmm.
they added in Kate Bishop, who is the new Hawkeye,
Okay.
um, in there. I think some of the stuff because there's a story mode, there's a multiplayer mode, and I think the story mode you can only do one person. Multiplayer mode isn't story mode. I think it's just like you fighting, or it might be fighting along with the story. I don't know, but you can pick different characters, such like that, what have you. I think the new characters that they add are automatically added into the game when you do the multiplayer. I haven't even gone to multiplayer because I want to finish the actual story mode first.
Okay.
I think it's on sale now, like half off. So I think it's like $35,
Okay. Not bad.
possibly. I don't know. I pre-ordered that too.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't.
when I pre-ordered it, I got the middle version. Like there was the basic, there was the hey, I'm gonna give you more money, and then there's the yeah, I got a little extra that I can put on it. I got that middle of the road version, and I think it had a couple of different because there's a lot in there. There's oh my god, there's you can have like different like nameplates that'll have your like gamer tag and such like
Ooh,
that you have in the game. It's what? Did you ever play the X-Men Legend games?
no.
Damn. They were oh my god, those games. If they remade them, you know what? They actually did remake them. They because it was the like Marvel Alliance.
Were they on what systems were they on? Were they on like PS2, Xbox, all those things,
Yeah,
or
yeah. They were. They actually remade, or they came out with another one, I should say, for the Switch,
okay?
maybe a
I have the
year or
Switch.
two ago. Maybe basically what it is you would have a squad of four, and you could have they had X-Men Legends and they had Marvel Alliance. You could have a squad of four characters, and you would have a whole group of characters to pick from, and it could be X-Men, it could be Avengers, it could be anything like that in there, and you would fight through the story what have you, and you could like augment them like you would pick up like items that would make them stronger, that would give them plus percentage this, plus percentage that, healing, whatever. This game has that similar thing where you have a squad of four, but you can only play as one of the characters. The other characters are controlled by the AI,
Okay.
but you can augment them by giving them this item and it'll make them stronger. This will make them faster, what have you. In the old Marvel Alliance and the Marvel and the X-Men Legends games, you could switch off between those four characters. So you started so you could have like in the X-Men game, I used to love because X-Men Legends 2, you got to play as Bishop. No game has had Bishop.
I was gonna say that's your man right there. Like he's incredible. Like he's
No
awesome.
no game has had Bishop. So I was like, okay, cool. So I got that. I would play Bishop and Iceman. Those are my two favorite characters to play with. But you
Mm,
could switch during the game. You could switch. So if we're like, oh, this character's at 13 like level, but this character's at 9. Let me switch off real quick so I can level them up a bit.
okay.
And you could play like that. That was just so much fun to me to be able to switch in like in real time. Just you would just hit like the D-pad, boom, left, and you would be this person. In Marvel Avengers, you can't. If you pick, let's say Iron Man, you play as Iron Man during that particular stage. Then you can go like
Oh,
then in the next stage you can pick another character and you can have the others assist you. So like
okay.
that, which isn't too bad, but I would like to be able to switch off. but what have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the characters don't. Yeah, Captain America doesn't look like how he does. Um, I think the character that looks the most like they should, I mean, besides Hulk, is probably Iron Man and Kamala Khan.
Okay. And I enjoy her too. Like I
Yeah.
wanted that was probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to get the game was because I wanted to be
Oh,
Kamala
she's so
Khan.
much fun. So much fun. Oh, so much. In 2020, we got to play as Kamala Khan and Miles Morales. I'm yeah,
Representation.
yes.
Oh
Like
my
this
god.
so cool to play as a young Muslim girl from Jersey City, and
Mm-hmm.
then being able to play as a young uh Afro-Latinx 17-year-old in Harlem and they both have superpowers and they both are just so infectious. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And they're not, and the way they bring her in isn't just, oh, we're gonna bring her in because the Avengers aren't around anymore. She's trying to get them back together. So she's the linchpin to everything.
Oh, that's nice. I like
And it's
that.
yeah. So and when you play as her, like it's just so much fun. And even her powers just feel like so much fun because she does her whole embiggening thing and just
Yeah.
being able to jump, and her powers even look like they match her personality because her personality is so big and so much. Even before she has the powers, it's like that. And this game is definitely a love letter to Avengers because you even get to collect like Avengers comics along the way to
Ooh.
particular characters. So you'll have some that are for Thor, you'll have some that are for Kamala, you have some that are for Iron Man, and so on and so forth. But yeah, but that's a fun one. Like I said, I think it's on sale right now. I
Okay.
don't know, either through Square Enix or possibly on PlayStation. If you choose to get, if you don't, if you do get it, let me know so we can play sometime, what have you. Because I really do. This has been a big year for gaming.
Yeah.
Everybody's been. You've seen everybody's gotten a Twitch channel. Like you see all the celebrities and stuff like that getting Twitch channels and causing. There was a whole big
Mm.
thing between the WWE and people getting their Twitch channels, which was very interesting to me.
Wow.
What have you. But yeah, you're seeing it, and they said it was like a a record breaking year for gaming, and I could understand it. I bought probably, God, 5, maybe 6 games.
Because I mean, what else are we gonna? Which has helped this? It's kind of like, what else are we gonna do in the house?
Hmm.
But I'm also like, this is stuff that I've been trying to. I don't want to say introduce people to,
Hmm.
but now it's cool to game. It's
Yes.
cool to be like, all right, let's go and waste 3-4 hours playing a video game, not only
Hmm.
just for me, but now to go live and to play for other people and to engage with them. And that's something that can bring people together
Hmm.
instead of just like, oh, well, I just do this random thing in my house and I like the whole quote unquote World of Warcraft type shit where you're like, I'm just on the computer all day
Hmm.
versus, like I'm actually doing this to hang out with my friends and the Call of Duty and all of that. So
Yeah,
gaming,
it's
oof,
so different to see everybody having fun and doing it, and you'll have like parties,
yes.
like parties gaming, and you'll see like people like cosplaying characters and just being, and everybody is like a novice and trying to figure out, well, I just got this green screen, so I guess I'll try that out tonight. And people
Yep.
being happy about that. And it's so cool. I really need to go back on Twitch and just watch people, just because it's some of the so cool, fun stuff, and like watch them live. Like I've watched people like their videos after they've been live, but just to see them live. Because
Mm,
it's so cool to see people. I got a green screen, so I guess so I'm gonna try to do it. And even them, and even like when it doesn't work, they're like, okay, I tried the green screen, it didn't work out, so I'm gonna try next time, but we're still gonna play the game. Like just that enthusiasm of just, look, I'm in it the same way. I don't know. Can some of y'all give me a tip? I don't know. And people
oh yeah.
genuinely saying, oh no, do this, it'll make it better. Like do this with your green screen. Sometimes you have to hold this latch. Oh, or even giving the recommendation like, oh, we'll get this green screen from here. It's much better. This is what I liked about it.
Mm,
It's just so cool, so awesome. I just it's like this is a golden age to be a geek and a gamer and a comic book fan, like anything like that, especially in COVID, because now it's when it's really shining. We're becoming the ones that are entertaining everyone. We're becoming the
yep.
ones that are doing it. And it's such a weird thing. It's so, I don't know, between podcasting, Twitch streamers, everybody out here doing it, and people getting paid to do it. What
Yes.
you thought you'd be like, I guess I'll just do this thing in the corner and in the dark that nobody else cares about.
Look,
Five, five people will watch. Now you have people who have like in their background placed really coolly is there like 1 million viewer like
oh
awards
yeah.
and shit like that, like just back there, and I'm like, 10 years
We,
ago, we would
who
not know any of these people.
No, I mean, there are some people that like, like the big names. Like, I don't really
Hmm.
know them. I'm just happy to be a part of a team like Black Girl
Hmm.
Gamers because they've been the ones that have like put people onto my channel and vice versa. I've been put onto other people's channels because of them. But
Hmm.
I'm not the one following all of like the Twitch news and like the whole Mixer thing and when all that was big and all that. So it's kind of like it's wonderful, and this was a great time for this to happen. And I encourage everyone, if you have that personality, and if you don't, to do it. Like definitely just try it. Um,
Hmm.
it definitely makes a real good time, and also just to I'm trying to think of the best way to say, like to find out who you are through it,
Yeah.
because there's so many people that do get lost in doing it, because like you said, we to be an entertainer in this caliber is not as easy, and not everyone can do it. um and it does require a lot of like dedication and
Mhm.
time and sacrifice into um what you're doing, because for the most part it is like it's a job, but it's a fun job if you make it fun. Like it has
Yeah.
to, if people don't see you genuinely enjoying yourself, then it's kind of like why would people want to watch you? At the
Exactly.
same time, like you can't just be, and I of course I've learned all this through doing it, like you just can't jump on the most popular games just because they're popular. Like you got to really want to play it, because if you're playing it just because everyone else is doing it, then what differentiates you from like the thousands of other people that are playing the same exact game? But like
Exactly.
you said, getting that money though is a
Mm,
whole different thing, and you can get money in a whole different set of ways. So I think it's worth it.
yeah. And but to see like people playing the games and then bringing their personality into it, like they'll like cosplay as whatever and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
think it's awesome. Like it's just so cool, and for people to find a new, and for people who were furloughed or who laid off, who their job shut down, and for them to find a new avenue of
Oh yeah.
revenue, and then something that they love and that they were doing all the time anyway, and then to be getting paid for it, and then for this to bring more um marginalized people to the
Mhm.
forefront,
Mhm.
more black women, black femmes, uh,
Mhm.
more uh, people of color, more LGBTQ plus, more black LGBTQ plus, more
Mhm.
di- differently abled people, to bring them to
Yes.
the front as well, doing this and to be getting paid for it, and to have communities like that where they're supporting each other, telling, hey, have you seen Joy Infinity's channel? She's great. Go check this out. Awesome. And then you saying, oh my God, you're here because of who? They told you, oh my God, and then you shouting someone out. And it being this great support system is the biggest thing right now, whether it's in the geek community or whatever. Support right now during this whole pandemic and stuff like that is so much needed, where, and it's not just because, hey, I said your name, so you should say my name.
Yeah, no, none of
You
that.
know what I
I
mean?
mean, people
It's
do that, but it
Mhm.
for the community that I'm in and what I've been doing, like I detest competition. Like I'm not trying to one up anybody or be better than anybody else. I can only be me and you can only be you. And if I do want, like, not say if I do want, but if I want people to check you out, I want people to check you out for the benefit of themselves. Like if you not to be like I'm forcing people to check people out, but I'm like, please, I genuinely love them and I want other people to get to know them too. Not to be like, well, if you check them out, then I get 10% off of whatever they make or whatever the hell. Like
Mhm.
people do shit all the time. So yeah, it's been a wonderful way. Like you said, with furlough, like I'm even the people I'm knowing now, they literally got into gaming in 2020.
Yeah.
And the way that they approach it, I'm like, y'all been doing this for years like me. They're like, no, we just started. I'm like, oh my God, like y'all are fantastic. So I'm even though 2020 was really shitty, it quite has been the best year of my life. Like truly, when it comes to all the endeavors, all the things. I mean, me being at home, playing video games and podcasting and, sleeping when I want, eating whatever I want, not having to go to work. Like, when am I ever going to do this again?
Exactly. Like 2020 was a huge career for creatives in being able to, well, I never had time because I always had to work. Not saying that people losing their jobs was a good thing. No,
No.
that's not what I'm saying at all. But if it gave you an opportunity to actually take what you've been doing and your passion and what have you, and you decided to research, read, check it out and go, you know what? I wonder if I can do this, what have you, in doing whatever. Whether it was you doing Twitch, whether you decided to podcast and do this, even people who decided to start doing OnlyFans. And not all OnlyFans are, sex related or such like that, but whether you are or aren't, whether you're doing it, I'm like a few setups from doing OnlyFans myself. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
I mean, I mean, just straight up facts. But anybody who's where it got you to be creative and go and not step out of your comfort zone, but expand your comfort zone. And you decided to go, and you again, what we were talking about even before this podcast, where you decided to work on your shit and not theirs.
Yes.
You created your shit and owned your shit, and it's there, and you got it instead of working really hard on their shit and pumping up their pockets and their stocks or what have you and such like that. Unless if that's your goal and you want to be, a part of whatever corporation, what have you, I'm not gonna shade you for that. I'm not. If that's your goal, that's your goal. But I feel like for me to create my own thing and do my own thing and have my own thing where it's mine. And if it fails, it's my fault. If it succeeds, it's all on me. It's great, it's beautiful. And I love the fact of having that creative control. That's probably because I do have creative control issues. I totally admit that. Yeah. But to have that, you know what I mean? And to start here with nothing and then to create this huge thing. And you're looking back and people are just coming out of nowhere. And you're like, wow, I did that. All in a time when not everything is going well and you're making this beautiful, you're creating this beautiful thing out of nothing during a time where it's very hard and very depressing and very detrimental. Is beautiful. It's amazing. And that's why I give you so many accolades and I tell you how incredible you are and why I tell you that it's amazing seeing where you started at that table at Shanghai Mang. God, I really want to go there. That food was so damn good. I really want to go there again. I can't wait to go back there again. Oh my God.
Me too.
From there, and then you just finding these things that you liked and telling and going from here and there, and then this huge thing that you're becoming. It's so beautiful, Joy. I want you to know how incredible it is. I mean, honestly, like I could cry at how amazing it is. Truthfully and seriously, it's amazing. And I appreciate you so much for everything that you're doing. It's beautiful to be able to see you becoming what you want and who you want in this era. And I'm so proud of you, Joy. I am, honestly.
Thank you. It's what makes all of this fantastic is because I know that this was not just me. Like, of course, obviously, yes, I'm doing the things, but what makes this all the more sweeter, and this is why I never want to be famous. I never want to be like, I want to be well known, but I don't want to be famous. I'm not in this for any celebrity because I could always count on the fact that this was not me, myself, and I did all this by myself. All of this feels good because I had someone to refer to, someone to look up to, someone that was like, hey, Joy, you might be good for this, or hey, you should reach out to this person, or I know someone that does this, or like all of this is because people genuinely wanted to help me. And that's what I can never, forget or never want to forget, because I know there are tons of Black girls out here. There's tons of Black women that do the same thing I'm doing, and we all don't have the same personality. We all don't have the same family. We all don't have the same access to wonderful people and wonderful resources and the internet, for God's sakes. People don't even have access to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because honestly, all of these opportunities that I have been getting literally have been because of, I say the last few, not everything, but
Mm-hmm.
I have to preface that, because not everything, I can't say everything, but it's
Mm.
because of the internet, like social media, like literally not using social media to be all up in everybody's business, to use it as a negative, fanning out of fanning out of everybody's business and being nosy and whatnot. Like, actually using social media, and this is what I'm hoping people go use for the new year and beyond. Use social media to like advance your presence and advance your business, because like the sponsorship was because I saw someone post about it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, and I
Mm-hmm.
sat on that. I wasn't going to apply because I thought, oh, I'm not good enough for that. Oh, I don't have the followers. I don't have, blah, blah, blah. I sat on that for weeks. I wasn't going to apply at all. But then I
Mm-hmm.
saw a girl apply for it and she shared it. I'm like, you know what? It's free to apply, right? What's the harm? Didn't
Mm-hmm.
think I was going to get it, but I did. So it was literally Twitter. The thing on streaming with the Monster Sanctuary, Team
Yes,
17,
yes.
Twitter, because I follow Tanya, who's on I think her name is Cipher of Tear on Twitter, and
Mm-hmm.
she's been doing way more moves than me. I follow her on just knowing other Black women, or knowing other people that are genuine and are really about their business. She reposted that because they were looking for people to want to help them. Of course, it wasn't a paid opportunity, but it's like you're getting the exposure, and I got rewards just by wanting to be someone who wants to stream their games. That was Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
If I get anything else, it's literally either Twitter or Instagram. And that's because I'm not using it to just do personal shit. That's why I have my personal and business separated, because you have your
Mm-hmm.
business account and you got your personal stuff. And when people see that, you recognize it, it's like, oh, okay, she is doing things. So a lot of this stuff, I can never say I did because I got my foot in the door, but because you align yourself with people. That's why I align myself, or I mostly want to smother you in love and affection, because a lot of this stuff was through you. Because
Mm.
with me sitting at home, sitting on the floor of my best friend's house in New Jersey, really wasn't getting me anywhere in terms of my, not shout out to him, but just shout out to him because I love him. But having a communications degree in New Jersey, as someone who loves video games and wants to be, on YouTube and do all this fun stuff, wasn't doing me shit in New Jersey. But literally, you opened the door. You're the one who was like, hey, let's go to this Black comic book festival, when I didn't even know Black people made comics. Like, you opened the door to expose me to New York. You're the one who like literally was like, hey, not only was I finding how to do stuff in New York City, but I found a whole relationship that it's about to be 4 years in. Like,
4
it's been,
years?
bruh,
Oh
December,
my God.
January 15th, 4 years we've been together.
Wow.
You the first person that mattered. Like, literally, like you and
It's been
Carlo,
4 years?
4
Damn.
years, bro. 4 years. I'm trying to get anniversary presents now. Like, it's crazy. All of this stuff was through you. You were the like Doctor Strange portal that helped me get out of the funk of like, how am I supposed to do things here in New Jersey? Like, I don't have, I just kind of figuring out how to do those things and how to move and what should I do. You were the catalyst that brought all of that out to be like, wow, you can do things. There are people here. There's someone named, oh, let me introduce you to Shanae. Let me introduce you to Takia. Let me introduce you to like the whole squad. Like, let me introduce you to Gotham. Let me introduce you to Stranger Membrane. Like, all of that stuff was in again, the core. You believed in me when, I mean, I know, of course, I have my friends, my best friends who know
Oh
me
yeah,
for playing
obviously.
games, but you believed in me to be like, you can do this, Joy. Like this, it's not hard. Like you got this. You have the personality. You got. That's all anyone really needs is for someone to believe in them. And that's what's fueling me this whole time. You and Bibby and our squad, like gutters and grub. Like we're eating. We're fueled by ramen, which is a wonderful whole band district rock record label. There we go. But anyway, we're fueled by this. We're fueled by our passions. And I get my energy seeing you do what you love and to see everyone else in our group do what they love. And it makes me want to just go hard and to not only just be in it for me, but I'm trying to make sure we're all in this. Even with Brandon, like Primo Brandon, like Eric, Brandon. I call him Brandon. People call him Eric. I don't know. Like it's a whole thing. I want to do that because I'm like, we have this. I can see our potential, and that's what makes me want to do all this stuff. So I don't care. You don't like it. I'm like smother you in love and kisses. Like you. Literally, it's been because of you and introducing me to the city and all this stuff that I would have never thought I would have ever gotten this far at all.
Where destiny, fate, like I said, destiny, fate, the souls, mana, whatever you want to call it, they put us where we've got to be at certain times. And at that time, it was right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's a launching point, and you were at a point in your life where you were just trying to break out of whatever holding pattern you were in, and you found it. You know what I mean? And my thing is, if I hear something or if I see something, if someone say, "Oh, I'm looking for this," or I'm looking for that, there are people that I'm going to go to first and say, "Hey, I know you've only touched on this topic, but hey, this is going on. Somebody's looking for this. Somebody's looking for that." There are certain people that I'm gonna look to first to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna first off, if somebody's, hey, I need an artist. I'm shouting out black women's names first. Black women and black femmes. I'm a whatever. Because I remember being at a comic con, and a guy was talking to me, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you know what? Marvel and DC, they picking up all the black artists, man. I can't talk to any of the brothers." And I was like, "Well, why don't you try talking to a sister?"
Right? You act. It's always one thing when they're like, "Well, we're not exist." I'm like, "But you're not looking for us." And if we're there, you ignore us.
And I
we're
gave
not
him names. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I give, and I said, "Well, why don't you try? I mean, they're right over here." And that was it. Like, that's going to be my thing. So you saying that shows me. And I know that language is a very important thing, where we mostly speak in the masculine of something. We actually talked about this on your podcast. So you're automatically going to say guys or what have you. And he may have just meant guys in a general term, what have you, possibly. Because this was a few years ago. So our language has changed since then. We've learned to be more inclusive with the language, which is why I don't say Afro-Latina or Latino. I say Afro-Latinx. So it includes everyone, because some people are gender fluid or some people are non-binary. So they're not either.
Mm-hmm.
And even that's kind of disrespectful, but I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that. I'm not.
But it's more than what people want to give credit for, because there are people, they're non-binary, gender non-conforming around us every day.
Yes.
Like people act like they're unicorns. I'm like, you don't even know. Like until you really start talking to people, you're like, oh, I didn't know you identified as such. And then it's like, okay. And of course, not to make it a big deal and to not be all, oh, I couldn't tell and all that other stuff. It's just,
God.
It's a whole thing. But I'm glad that we're learning.
Tell.
I couldn't tell. What? Oh, you look. And I'm not exempt from either saying or almost saying one of those things or being like, oh, really? Because blah, blah, blah. Like, no. But it's good that we're learning and we're having that open space to learn.
Yeah, we definitely need to. And when he said that, I was like, open your mind. You're looking for just these artists. Okay, cool. I get that. They are amazing artists. I'm not shading them. No, their art is awesome. But you've got these incredible artists right over here. But they're not getting that same shine. They're not getting that same look because they're women, because they're femmes, and because they're black women, and because they're black femmes. They're getting even less of a look. They're not even getting a thought. Which is even more disrespectful. So when I see something, I definitely there was, I think it was the Glyph Awards maybe last year or the year before,
Regine,
which is
right?
like yeah. Oh,
She was in that.
No. She
Oh,
was nominated for something. I
oh,
want to
okay.
say no. Regine Sawyer does women in comics and does Lock It Down Productions, but the Glyph is like the Black Eisner Awards for comics, what have you. And they had like a fan favorite one, and they had where you could write something in, or they had choices. And I was looking at the choices, and I was like, all right, these are all great comics, right? They are. But the best comic to me, or at least one of the best comics in the top 3 of 2020, was Diary of an Angry Black Werewolf by
Yes.
Michelle Hess.
And you put me onto that, and it was fantastic.
How is that? You came up with a story from Inktober. You use those prompts to tell a story through your art, and then compiled that into a comic, put it out there, and it was one of the best things. Like I said, my top 3 of 2020, and that's not on this list. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
I went to tweet Jordan Peele, HBO, and
Ooh.
I was tweeting them about her, and I was like, "Yo, can I do this, Miss Hess? Like, can I please?" She's like, "Yeah, go ahead." So I was like tweeting at them, "Can someone please turn this into an HBO special? Because this would be fan-fucking-tastic. Like, do you see this? This is relevant. Like, oh, I gotta go back on that shit again and retweet them, tweet them some more."
There was so much to that to love, from the story to the artwork to the storytelling of using those prompts and creating a story from it, where everyone else, and again, it's no shade to them, are just putting out hey, this is the prompt. Okay, I'm going to put out this picture for this, boom, boom, boom. But you created a story, a socially relevant story, including Black horror, which is incredible because it's beautifully gory and still socially relevant, and you're cheering for this character. And how can you not have this on that list? Are you fucking serious?
They didn't see it. They didn't know it.
Fucking serious? That's why I am how I am about indie, and how I am about books that aren't getting as much play.
That was you too. You exposed me to that too. You exposed me to indie. I had no idea what indie was. Like, of course, I got into it with the whole Marvel thing, Marvel and DC, but like you exposed me to indie. You exposed me to seeing that there's more than just the Marvel and the DC. It was like, oh shit, look at all these stories that no one's talking about. Like, why? But I enjoyed that.
Which makes no sense. I mean, I just so many great. And I remember us going, and I'm like, these are people that you did, like Regine Sawyer, utterly amazing. Are you serious?
Love her.
Maya Crown Williams is a force of nature.
Yes.
You cannot stop. You could not stop her with no. You couldn't get she's like one of the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
She is
like one of the Titans that came through the wall and was like, so y'all gonna buy these black books, right? Y'all gonna buy these black books? Y'all gonna buy this black stuff? Like, she's straight up, and she's just this force of incredible, beautiful black. There aren't words. There aren't words for Maya.
No, that's why I'm like, we all need to have this same energy.
Yeah.
In the future, because of course, with the whole, oh, well, I don't know about black this and black that. No. It's been here. You wasn't looking for it, but it's been here. And now that it is here and you realize it's here, you need to put your coins where your mouth is and start supporting these people, because they've been doing the work way ahead of everybody else, when no one thought or heard or believed, and nothing. Even our own people didn't believe. Yeah. So look, it's time.
we never knew, because if you don't know the Loch Ness Monster exists, are you going to look for it?
Big facts.
You're
Big
not.
facts.
So when I remember finding out some of these people. I actually found Takia and Sean Allen and Shanae and Ray Anthony Height. I was looking through oh my god, what the hell was the name of it? Deviant Art, when I lived in
Wow.
Illinois. Exactly. That's how long
Deviant
ago it was.
art?
I was just looking through there for art and stuff like that, because I was there and I was living in Illinois. This is how long ago. It was like over 10 years ago. And I was looking, I was like, wow, and I was like, wait, these are black people? Because I've never seen they've never talked about black people making comics. And I think Takia was the first person that I ever commissioned for art.
Wow. So
Takia
like
was the first person.
you know them from the internet.
Yes.
I
I
thought
knew
you
them
knew
when
them.
I was living in Illinois. I met them.
I
That's
thought
how
you knew
wild that
them
is.
from real life. Like you've met them at a
No,
con or something and you're like, we should be friends.
it was the opposite.
Holy shit.
I met them through their work. I met them. And Takia and
Wow.
we ended up being friends on Facebook, and we would talk about food every so often, which is totally changed now. And then
Okay. Yeah.
and she had a piece for me, the piece that I commissioned from her. And I was walking by her in New York Comic Con with Ryan Brown.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
Yes. And she was with Shanae. This is how long.
Wow.
This is how long ago it was. They had straight hair. That's how long ago it
Ooh,
was. They had
wow.
straight hair. They
That
had
was a
straight hair.
long ass time ago.
And I walked. I was like, hey, and we happened to be texting or messaging on Facebook. I can't remember what it was. And we walked past each other, and we happened to look up, and we're like, Shanae, Takia, and she was like, Antonio. I was like, oh, hey, what's going on? And we was like, it's great, whatever. We weren't as deep friends as we were then, but we would talk, every so often. And then we just started being really cool and hanging out. And I met Sean the same way. I went a few years ago to New York Comic Con, and I bought his comic, his team effort, the street team. And I was like, oh, wait. And I just started talking to him. Yesterday, he had me on the Zion Network, just doing a quick, like 5-minute segment about comics. And he was like, so I want to bring it back every week. I was like, oh, that's cool. Thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh
things
my
like that.
gosh.
It's things like that happen. So we, supporting each other and looking at each other, even if I don't, now I'm not saying support black stuff that you don't like or that's problematic. That's not what I'm saying. Don't do that.
No, it's worse.
But yeah, it is, because there's a couple of people that I can think of that I'm like, that once I found out, I was like, shit, I'm mad that I even bought your stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. But then it's about supporting, it's about having fun, and it's about bringing everyone up to that same level, then all of us helping each other get to that next level, and back and forth, and just saying, look, if I'm there and if I have my foot in the door, if I have even the slightest bit of privilege and a podium, I'm going to say your name in that room, even if it's only my lips in the door. That's still more than you're getting. I'm going to say your name in that door,
Oh
and
yeah.
if they open up a little bit wider where you can get your lips in, you can say, well, I like this, and it's there. It's still, it's still there. So we can, and if you don't have money, and I know times is tough and rough like leather, I realize that money tight, but share a link, share something, anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's free to share.
Exactly.
It's free to share.
So on that note, we went longer, but damn it, this is the hell with it. We had a great time.
Yes.
Thank you so very much once again for being on. Just thank you so much. This has been Joy Nickens, aka Joy Infinity and Beyond.
Yes, sir.
I am Antonio Pomares. I am the Hungry Bleak. Thank you so very much. We will be back again next week. Enjoy the day, folks, and have fun.
Bye.